Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite esthetician again. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Amaka, and in this video we're talking about dark knuckles, causes, treatment and prevention. So if you're interested in this, please get a cup of coffee, get a cup of tea, get Coke, get Fanta, get comfortable and keep on watching. So you see, the reason why I decided to make this video is because of the kind of advertisement I see on Instagram. So I can't talk about the rest of the world. So if someone living in some other country aside Nigeria, because I don't know if it's a Nigerian thing, may not relate to this, what I'm about saying. On Instagram, you see a lot of things like buy dark knuckle cream, dark knuckle this, dark knuckle that. And I worry, honestly. I really worry, because aside dark knuckles that was triggered by bleaching cream, aside those ones though, most people with dark knuckles have an underlying medical problem that requires urgent attention. I don't even know if the people that are marketing these dark knuckle creams are deliberately misleading people or are genuinely ignorant. Like the darkening of your knuckles when it was not triggered by bleaching cream, do you understand, is something that you should not take lightly. Go to your doctor first. Go to your what? Doctor first. Anyway, and before I turn this into a rant, which it's not the intention, do you understand? Let me just address the things you should have in mind when trying to treat dark knuckles. The first thing you should always bear in mind is dark knuckles. Treating dark knuckles is more about understanding the cause, addressing the cause, than treating the pigment. Do you get? With dark knuckles, most ingredients that fight hyperpigmentation may not work, because most times the causes of dark knuckle, or the cause of dark knuckle, is not a pigment problem. There is a pattern to these things. Understanding how something works will determine whether or not it will be effective. Most of the ingredients that fight hyperpigmentation target your melanocytes. They target your tyrosinase. They target the enzyme in your body that produce melanin. If the reason for your dark knuckles is not as a result of excess production of melanin, how would using an ingredient that targets melanin address the dark knuckles? It cannot work. Do you understand? So understanding the cause of the dark knuckles would help you understand how to treat it. So let's talk about the possible causes of dark knuckles. Now, in Nigeria, one of the first causes of darkening of the knuckle, like your knuckles were normal before, all of a sudden it now became very black. One of the very common causes is using unsafe lightening creams. Now, some of these creams contain steroids, high and very potent steroids, mercury, just unsafe ingredients, and these ingredients lead to patchy, uneven skin tone. For example, this is an example of what knuckles that has been darkened as a result of unsafe lightening products looks like. Do you understand? Now, if this is the cause of your dark knuckles, how to address it is by stopping those products. Now, the earlier you stop them, the better for you. Hopefully, a lot of damage has not been done, and when you stop, it reverts back to how your knuckles, were initially. Stop those creams and start using normal plain moisturizers that can help you repair your skin barrier. Vanilla cream is a good option. CeraVe is a good option. QV is a good option. There are other amazing options out there that just have, plain and healing properties. Over time, your skin will repair itself, and if you realize that your skin is not repairing itself, maybe you've used these creams for a very long period of time and the damage is more intense, then please see a dermatologist or go to an aesthetic clinic. Maybe some procedures will be performed to normalize the skin around that region. Do you get? So stop it. You cannot address an issue by tripling down on the cost. So you start using a bleaching product and it darkens your knuckle. Then you now go and buy that knuckle corrector to correct what the bleaching cream that you bought did. You are just tripling down on the initial cost. So please, if your dark knuckles were triggered by using an unsafe lightening product, don't worry. If you are using any cream and it darkens your knuckle, it is most likely unsafe. Please stop using that product and replace it with a healing and, rich moisturizer. Hopefully your skin will repair itself. Now that I've addressed the one that has been giving me high blood pressure since, let me address other possible causes of dark knuckles. Now the first one is genes, especially if you're black. Our knuckles, our elbows, our knees are usually darker than the other part of our body. So if, since you've known anything, your knuckles have been darker and you haven't seen any substantial darkening of the knuckles, just leave it alone. Do you understand? Look around, look at your mom's hands, your popsie's hands. Do they have dark knuckles as well? It's very common amongst us, amongst black people. It's very common to have darker knuckles. If this is the case, then leave it. You can't do anything about it. Do you understand? And the beauty about it is that when your knuckles are generally dark and naturally dark, it looks very different than when it was triggered by creams. Do you understand? Like some people just have dark knuckles. It doesn't look unhealthy. Do you get? So if this is the case, please don't bother using creams. Once you try using any lightening product, you will most likely be causing more harm than good, because the hyperpigmentation will come back, because that is how you were created, and because you have suppressed the melanocytes around that region, it may even come back a lot darker. So if that is how your fingers or hands are naturally, please leave it alone. Now another cause of darkening of the knuckle is something called acanthosis nigricans, and this is characterized by thickened velvety skin. So your skin becomes thick and looks velvety, and then looks like it is hyperpigmented or has hyperpigmentation. But what's actually happening is not excess production of melanin. It's just that your skin has thickened, and this is usually around where you have folds. For example, your knuckles, around your neck, under your arm. Do you get? Areas where you have folds, your skin thickens. And the thing about one of the major causes of acanthosis nigricans is diabetes, early signs of diabetes. Please see a doctor. Do you understand? And that cause could be PCOS, obesity. Do you get? But popularly, it's early signs of diabetics. Do you understand? And the thing about acanthosis nigricans is when you address the cause, it doesn't go away. Do you understand? It's unfortunate. It doesn't go away. Most times, the darkening and the thickening remains like that. Now, it could get better, but majority of the times, it doesn't go away. And that's why addressing it early is not just could save your life, because if you have diabetes, the earlier you address it, the better for you. But also, it would prevent the hyperpigmentation or the darkening or the thickening of the skin from progressing, as opposed to allowing it sit for a while unattended to. Other causes of darkening of the knuckles include vitamin B12 deficiency, reaction to certain medications, for example, HIV medication, oral birth control, systemic steroids, niacin supplements, insulin injections. All these things could cause your knuckles appear dark. Nothing is friction. So it could be friction from constantly rubbing your knuckles against something or scratching. So if you have eczema is characterized by dry, itchy, scaly skin. So if you have hand eczema, for example, and you constantly scratch, do you get? It may cause your knuckles to become thickened and appear. So my battery died, I had to change it. So yeah, as I was saying, if you constantly scratch, that scratching may cause your knuckles to become thickened. Now, if this happens, using a moisturizer with ammonium lactate, like the amlactin moisturizer, can over time exfoliate your skin and make your knuckles appear less dark and pigmented. Also, aside these ones that I even listed, there are several other medical conditions that can cause your knuckles to darken. Unfortunately, I'm not a doctor. I cannot, talk about these in detail, but I would advise one take home you should take from this video if your knuckles looked a certain way and you are not bleaching, and all of a sudden you realize it has gotten darker, please go and see a doctor. Go and see a doctor. It is very common that an underlying medical condition would trigger your knuckles to get darker. Please see a doctor. And I'm aware that some of you would be disappointed because I'm sure you were expecting some knuckle cream to be recommended. Unfortunately or fortunately, on this channel, we don't say things, or I don't say things that are particularly what you want to hear. I try as much as possible to bring the facts before you. And the fact is that if you are not using bleaching cream and your knuckle has darkened or has gotten darker, way darker or a shade darker than it ordinarily has been or should be, there is a possibility that there's an underlying medical problem or condition or situation that has to be addressed. The good thing is that in most of the circumstances, when the cause is addressed, your knuckle reverts back to its usual shade. However, as I pointed out, for acanthosis nigricans, a lot of times it doesn't revert back. So the earlier you address the medical condition will prevent it from getting worse or darkening further. Anyway, thank you guys once again for watching. That's all I have on dark knuckles. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video if it was beneficial to you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.